Welcome back, folks. It's your boy, actually Amungus, your coach of the Atlanta Sobble, and this is week 2 of the PWD. This week, we're going against one of my favorite coaches to battle in the PWD, Coach New Way and the Brooklyn Mantykes, formerly known as the New York Noctowl last season. This is his second season in the PWD. He's always been a promising coach as long as he's been here. And I've been looking forward to this match. The team that he drafted this season is a very bulky team. A team that definitely shows some promise. But I definitely, no disrespect, feel like my matchup's a little better than last week. What I'm really more saying by saying that is that I thought my matchup was kind of bad last week. So, I got a more fair shot at this one is all I'm saying. Definitely seen some ways in practice and scrims that this could go Coach New Way's way. But to get straight into it, my primary game plan was to kind of work the hazard control play. So I'm going to lead with my Nidoqueen, especially because I've seen that he didn't bring either of his ground types. And I kind of predicted that he would lead with the Orbeetle. Both of us have access to sticky webs, and I figured if he's bringing the Orbeetle that it would probably be a support Orbeetle to try to set up those webs. And, I had seen in week 1 he also had brought screens on the Orbeetle, so maybe that would be the set. I turned out to be correct on that. So on turn 1, I didn't go for the Stealth Rocks right away. I wanted to see what his set was and get off damage. He's going to go for the Sticky Webs and then the Light Screen, which I'm not going to say I predicted he would go for the screens, but I did see the set in week 1, so I knew it was a possibility. I went for the Stealth Rocks on the second turn, just still scouting out and knowing that that's a big part of my game plan. I mean, also the damage wasn't like it was in kill range or anything. So, New Way's going to U-turn on my Galvantula and go to his Rotom, which is bad for me. I'm going to switch my Galvantula, which was a planned double, and when I see the Rotom, I'm going to go to my Pangoro, which is Assault Vest, but this Overheat's going to come out and do huge damage to me, which basically reveals that he's Specs, so I'm going to have to switch again. I'm not going to be able to do what I really wanted to do, which was Circle Throw his team into my Stealth Rocks with Pangoro. Pangoro is going to have minimal impact on this battle because of the choice by Coach New Way to bring Specs Rotom. Now my Eldegoss is max special defense. Obviously Overheat's going to lower his special attack, so that helps a lot as well. But we're going to be able to live a hit and get a little bit of our recovery going with our Eldegoss, which is kind of the point of this this set this week. Is it's going to be able to soak up special attacks, which is primarily what Coach New Way's team is comprised of, is special attacking Pokemon, and get some healing going for obviously itself with the Regenerator ability, Giga Drain, Leftovers, you name it, but also with Leech Seed have the potential to put a little bit of health back on my other teammates if needed. Not a full-on cleric, but pretty good. Anyway, to get back on point, this was a really bad play on my point, and even though Coach New Way has got me switching more than I would like to switch already, it has me kind of back against the wall at this point. Losing my White Herb on the Sticky Webs and then still going for this Shell Smash was really bad on my part, because when my defense is lower, my Blastoise is going to go down to a single Thunderbolt here. I was definitely expecting that to put in a lot of work against my opponent's team, and just didn't need to let that happen. I mean, it's obvious to see, obvious to say, but I just didn't need to let that happen. So we're going to bring back in the Eldegoss. Like I said before, it has the Regenerator ability and the max special defense. It's going to be able to do a little bit of what it's built to do at this point in the battle. and just kind of sit out in front of this Porygon. It's not really got no trouble with the ice beams, although it is a super effective hit. Does pretty good damage, but you can see my point that Eldegoss is pretty safe by the fact that Coach Nue is going to switch here, bring out his Decidueye, which is really bad for me because that was not what I predicted that turn. I knew it was a possibility, which is why I didn't go for the Rapid Spin earlier when I went for the Leech Seed. But he's going to block the Rapid Spin. You know, given the choice between the two, I would rather give the hazards up than that little bit of health, or get the hazards away than that little bit of health. So I'm going to be forced to switch here. I can't hardly do anything to Decidueye with Eldegoss, but Nidoqueen's a great switch. It's going to eat up the knockoff, even though I don't love to lose my Black Sludge here. I'm not really missing it that much. Definitely would rather have the Black Sludge gone off of Nidoqueen than the leftovers on Eldegoss as well. Not to mention the fact that Eldegoss just can't do anything. So he's going to defog here, which this was what I predicted his defogger would be. Is another thing I saw in his week 1 matchup, but it just seemed like the best option. He only had this, Rotom, or Unfezant, which he didn't even bring to choose from. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I chose to bring so much hazards on my team, both Stealth Rocks and Sticky Webs. I even tried Toxic Spikes at one point in preparation, because I knew that he would have a hard time getting rid of them consistently if I was able to get them up more than once. Now, here's where the battle takes another surprising turn, because he's going to come out with Wish Cash, Dragon Dance, have the bulk to eat not 1, not 2, but 3 Earth Powers, and just really start to scare my team with the +2 attack and speed Wish Cash. Granted, I got some answers for it still, namely like Eldegoss and stuff like that. I feel like there's ways I could try to get rid of it. Plus, it's a really slow Pokemon, so you're gonna see me here as I fire off the 3rd Earth Power, and then lose my Nidoqueen here. Oh wait, it doesn't live 3 Earth Powers. It ends up taking me down because it's fast because of Dragon Dance. That was my mistake. My mistake in commentary. I knew that at the time, but I didn't want to sacrifice a different Pokemon. Unlike last week, Nidoqueen wasn't quite the key to the battle. I just needed it to get Stealth Rocks up, maybe some chip damage off. I wanted to test the speed on Galvantula, which is why I went for it here. But at +2, I'm not faster. It is the fastest Pokemon that I brought on my team, though, this week. So, you know, worth a try, worth a chance. Didn't work out. And just to make sure, 100% sure that I don't go down to a Max Quake or something like that. And plus, you know, I thought that he was going to go for Max Quake. He ends up going for Max Rockfall. I was considering also the boost from Max Quake, and just really putting everything into perspective that it was worth the risk to make sure that Eldegoss definitely lives and definitely gets off a big Max Overgrowth, or aka a big Grass attack on this Wish Cash, and put this threat down. So after taking some big parts of my team down, I'm finally going to get rid of my first Pokemon on Coach Nue's team, which would be the Wish Cash. So as you know, it's apparent to see I'm at a pretty big disadvantage here, and I'm using up my Dynamax early. They're going to go for the Light Screen against me, which I kind of predicted. Plus, I predicted that he would be faster, so I wanted to go for the Max Strike to lower the speed, even though I was going to go for the Overgrowth either way. It was good to see that the screens were going to come up, lower the speed, but I think that the lowered speed is the reason that my opponent's going to switch here. And by switching here, they absolutely just I mean, this is probably especially defensive Decidueye. Everything else, they're just absolutely going to completely eat this hit. I mean, the Stealth Rocks did probably twice as much damage as this max overgrowth is going to do, kind of effectively wasting my final turn of Dynamax, my final 2 turns of Dynamax, really. He's also going to get a pretty safe defog off on his next turn, which is good and bad. I mean, better than trying to list it myself. Just watch and see the amount of texts that come up after this next defog and just how many things change on the battlefield because of this. By the way, we are going to go to Pangoro here. It's my best switch-in for the Decidueye, and having fully deciphered that it's a bulky variant here, I did build it to outspeed if it doesn't have any speed invested, as well as outspeed the Lapras. That's not going to come into play, unfortunately, because of the Specs Rotom kind of ruining my plans. We're just going to get the kill off on the Decidueye, and that's one big annoyance out of the way. I mean, it does allow my Eldegoss to become viable, whereas there was a Pokemon on his team that it just could not do anything to. We're going to lose one of our main plans in trying to circle throw him into hazards by losing Pangoro. So then it comes down to Aegislash and Eldegoss. We're going to Swords Dance with Aegislash, but we already deciphered that Rotom is Specs, and we see what we're dealing with here. They're not going to go for the discharge. They're going to let me Shadow Sneak down their Orbeetle, which is just a support Pokemon, and then try to bring back out the Rotom. I see it coming, and I sacrifice my Eldegoss here because, well, while it could probably do a little bit to Lapras, it's just not good against anything that my opponent has left on their team. So now with the -2 special attack, my opponent is forced to switch again. And we're going to go all or nothing here. This is the only Pokemon we have, the only chance we have. And if you remember last season, you know that Aegislash pulled back multiple battles for us. We're going to go for the Swords Dance once. We're going to go for the Swords Dance twice. And we're going to go for the Swords Dance 3 times. Max attack, soaking up hits from Lapras the whole way. Actually, soaking up hits better than we expected to, because the reason we went for 3 Swords Dances here was not only to get our attack to max, obviously, looking at the damage and how we were in shield form, but to try to activate our Salic Berry, which we don't quite take enough damage to do. But we are faster than the Lapras and the Porygon, and we have Shadow Sneak for the Rotom. So we're going to be able to take down the Lapras here. We're going to take down the Porygon next, or the Rotom next. And this poor Porygon ain't going to stand a chance, as the Atlanta Sobble pull off the 1-0 victory and defeat the Brooklyn Mantykes and Coach Neway with 30 seconds left on the clock. By the way, shout out for Coach Neway for not running down the timer. You know, both coaches played it honorably and was just like, whichever way this battle goes, I want to play it out. I appreciate that. I really, truly do. But we're now sitting at 1-1. So I hope y'all enjoyed, because until next week, that's all I got. Peace.